Well, hey there, YouTube. Petey Twofinger here with a question for you. Where do you buy your guitar effect pedal PCBs from? Build your own clone, AMZ, General Guitar Gadgets, Mad Bean, Aeon Electronics, Pedal PCB, 1776 Effects, Tata, Fuzzdog, Music PCB, Delic PCB, Arcadia Electronics, Electric Effects, or Parasite Studios. I get mine from everybody on this list, except for I never bought anything from AMZ. Well, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'll go back through this list and talk a little bit more about them. This is Vero board, so this is a PCB. Vero board is more challenging. PCB takes less time. Vero board, for me, has less of a likelihood to fire up and work properly the first time. Always something I got to do with a Vero, where PCBs always fire up the first time. Never a problem. Now this is a switch circuit board. These are available from Bitches Love My Switches or Love My Switches. Did he change his name? Terrorist 1 on that one. But yeah, you can get these for 99 cents. You solder it onto the stop switch, and then like your pedal chassis has the 9-volt, the little plug, so the wire for that comes down here, and then there's a 9-volt wire that goes to the circuit board. And then like your input and output jack, the wires come down and solder in here, and then the input and the output for the pedal, the circuit, that wire hooks up here. So this is all clearly labeled, and I find using one of these for the external wiring, and then using this instead of a Vero, it's going to work. Just no bones about it, as long as you're careful and you take your time. And me, like, I use a ohm meter and check the resistors, the value, and double check the capacitors and stuff like that. As long as I'm careful, there's going to be no problem. Where with a Vero, it's kind of anybody's guess. So there really is, like, how could I describe this? If it's a small circuit, the chances are that people are just building it on Vero. They're not going to make a PCB for something real small unless it's really popular. Like, that's why these exist. But something like, because in every pedal you have this need. But something like a single transistor boost, like, oh, I don't know, a ZVEX show, there isn't really going to be PCBs sold for those because they're so simple. Everyone would just do it on Vero. But when you start adding integrated circuit chips, and chips that are more than 8 legs, like 14, 16 pin chips, and multiple chips, it starts getting really large if you're going to do the layout on Vero. That's just the nature of the physicality of how integrated circuit chips wire into a circuit. It's not conducive on Vero. So circuits that have more than one chip or whatever, you're going to only really see those on a PCB that you purchase. So finding a companies, this is like a weird business. It's kind of a newer thing. So these places that sell PCBs are few and far between. Everyone has a different stock of what they sell. So when I find a new place that sells PCBs, I'm, ooh, what could I build? You know, because I love this stuff. So for me, it's a no-brainer, but I like saving money and doing things as cheaply as I possibly can. So the idea would be to not just order one. I would try to, oh, this guy's got 4 things, save up the money, order all 4, and then pay a little less on the shipping, and then combine all the BOMs or bills of materials and order all the parts to build all 4 at the same time. Then I would be set for, you know, however long it takes me to build 4 pedals, which if I had a gun to my head, I could do it in one day, but more than likely 4 pedals is going to take up a half a year to a year, just because I'm handicapped and I'm not like, gotta build the pedals anymore. You know, I've kind of built everything that I wanted to build, and I'm over it. So, going back to read through this list, BYOC and Triple G, or General Guitar Gadgets, and Build Your Own Clone, they offer anywhere from just a circuit board to the circuit board and buying the parts, circuit board parts and box, circuit board parts, box, and everything else, meaning the knobs, the jacks, the stop switch, all that stuff. So depending on who you're buying from, they have different options. And buying everything in one as a kit, they have to make their markup money, so it's not the most affordable way of doing things, but it certainly is the easiest and the less of a hassle and less time consuming. But me, I'm more like just get the PCB and then I already have like a big stock of parts here. Is how I've done it. But I do, I do both. I still do Vero. But in the beginning, I was Vero only because I was trying to really save money, and then it's like you kind of learn your lesson. And then some of the stuff isn't available on Vero. There just isn't a Vero layout for certain pedals, but you'll find the PCB. So whenever I find a new company, I'm excited, and that's why I made this video. Going through the list, BYOC and GG are well known, and they have a lot of pedals that are clones of industry standards. AMZ/Musique, that's Jack Orman. It's an educational circuitry, guitar, music website that just happens to sell some utilitarian circuit pedals, PCBs. So there's like some overdrive boosty stuff, but mostly it's like unusual utilitarian stuff. I just had to include them because they do sell PCBs, but they don't really fit in with any of the other vendors on this list. They're very unique. Mad Bean has classifications like cowboy, different things to represent the skill level. They're listed in filter/modulation category, so it's conducive layout. Some of these website designs and layouts are not good, and that may be why strike against you why you're not on this listing. Again, if I left out your favorite place, you can feel free to type it in. Like Jed's Peds is a place in the UK that I didn't include. This is a re-upload, so unless this, I may delete your comment, and that just means that one of the persons that you mentioned had done me wrong. If it's an ethical thing, if you lied to me or sent me a nasty email, there's all kinds of reasons why you might be on my baddie list. Because believe me, there are people that did not make this list. People that I'm aware of that sell PCBs. Aeon Electronics with an A-I-O-N. Cool stuff. He had discounted older versions, like he was on version 1.4 of the DOD 250. I bought a Wampler PCB from him. It was DOD 250 that Brian Wampler had done these 3 or 4 mods to it. So you could include those mods if you wanted to or not. I like Aeon Electronics. Pedal PCB, they're on the list. 1776 effects. They have a cool Echo box that's a take on the old tape delays. It uses PT2399, I think 2 chips. That's a really cool Echo box. And then John Patton, some of his work can be found there. Also Runoff Groove. Now, Tata Electronics is a place that people buy their components from. They also sell PCBs, but it's limited. They have an amp. They have some overdrive, boost, distortion, maybe 1 fuzz. They have a Rat and what do you call it? A Marshall Blues Breaker, some Marshall Governor maybe, and then the Carl Martin Plexitone. I did that from Tata. Fuzzdog is from the UK. He offers mods. This is a Fuzzdog PCB. Like the rectifier I built, a lot of people did not like the boost on it, so he had it color-coded where like the blue parts were for the original stock layout, but the green were his mod. And it was a completely different boost that was awesome instead of a junky one. So I like that. Fuzzdog seems to be like he's a stickler about details, and he has a lot of stuff. It's in the UK, but good deals, and he didn't go crazy on the shipping. So I've purchased from him twice. I've got his Phase 45, his MXR Blue Box finished, and then Univox Super Fuzz is populated, and then this Snow White. Actually, it's called the Seven Dwarfs. So a lot of times they will use a different name, and you just kind of gotta use your powers of intellect to determine that the Seven Dwarfs Ottawa is indeed the Snow White. Music PCB is limited stuff. It's not much, but what they have is very good. They have a gristleizer. They have envelope filter, tiny giant amp, Christine noise fuzz, Delyk PCB, Delyk PCB, Arcadia Electronics, Lectric, Lectric. Lectric. That's like electric without the E. LECTRICFX.com. And then Parasite, PARASIT, Parasite Studios. That's Frederick Leachin, a Swedish guy. He has some noise like synthy, like a guitar synth, Arcadia, like a Nintendo 8-bit sounding fuzz. Very off the beaten path. He has his own unique Vero layouts and then some circuits that he's made, as well as some clone type stuff, I believe. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of his stuff he's developed it, and it's really cool stuff. I did his ring modulator, and it was fantastic. So, basically the long and short of it is Vero or PCBs are just two different ways to go. I like and use both, but I really love PCBs. It's easier and cheaper. But I can do Vero too. And if you're having a hard time or you're getting into this, I can't tell you what's right for you, but I can tell you I have a 5-video series getting started on building guitar effect pedals. It's long and chatty. And then I have 2 videos on Vero, Petey's tips and tricks for Vero. They're both good. They both have stuff in there you can use, but the first one's got a long intro and a lot of goofy, like, inside humor. A lot of people complained about that video. So I made a more serious, more quick second one. So if your favorite place isn't on the list, feel free to add it. Unless they did me wrong or sent me a mean-spirited email or, or the psychotic people or dishonest. Because I do have some people that are like on my list, but I'm not going to really promote them. Because it's my channel. I get to do what I want, right? What I'm promoting is my last CD, Minor Technical Difficulties. I am handicapped, these 2 fingers. I lost the tops of them. They were cut off and restructured, so I can't use them. So I play the guitar fretting, strum with this hand, and fret with just these 2, where most people normally have 4. And I have to keep bringing that up because people I've known my whole life are like, dude, I never knew anything was wrong with you. Like, that's Speedy Two Finger. That's who I am. Oh, wow. Like, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that don't know that about me. And I'm constantly, so people they just don't listen. I can show them and tell them, and that's my name. But, yeah, I'm working with half of what everyone else is working with. That's why I kind of have a mental thing and need that pat on the back. So check out Minor Technical Difficulties. It's a CD that a mutant guy with 2 fingers played the guitar on and the bass. You can tell me how horrible that is, how much that sucks. Give me a big thumb down on that. So thank you for joining me. If you're into building guitar pedals, you're in the best hobby in the world next to heroin addiction. I'll say that. And PCBs are awesome. So please let me know any new place comes in. I really should put these links to this places in the description so I can click on them and stay updated. So get on me about that. If that isn't done when you're watching this video, please get on me. Leave a comment saying, hey, aren't you supposed to put the links in the description? Because I got to get around to doing that. I uploaded this video, and then there's been a lot of trauma and drama going on personally for me. I haven't been well. I've been lethargic, and then removing ingrown nails out of my feet and my fingers. So very painful stuff. My wife wrote 3 new tunes for the band on her bass, and they're really good tunes. So look forward to hearing those. But yeah, I was trying to keep this down. Where are we at? 14. It's not too bad. I apologize about the last video to the person, if you're watching, who I offended. I didn't mean to offend you. I really meant to promote you and your business by me complimenting you and saying what I said was true. I said that there were a group of people that worked on the project, but he had done the brunt of the work for it. I meant that. I still stand behind everything I said as being true, non-exaggeration. I felt that I had painted you unfairly as some sort of a wonderkind and told me to lay off. So I didn't mean to misrepresent. I honestly felt that way, as I have often told people, tales who aren't in this hobby, that this guy was my favorite builder, and I really looked up to him. So I certainly didn't mean any ill will or dishonesty. I believed everything I said, and I think that's maybe why you're able to charge $15 as your base price for a PCB over 5, is because you're offering such a superior product. So coming after me and leaving me this politically correct email, I just don't see the point what it would serve, because the reality stands, to be true, and that's why you're able to charge the prices you're able to charge. I wish you, nothing but the best for your business. And that being said, anybody out there, please take a look at that Minor Technical Difficulties album that I'm really promoting that. I'd like people to give me some feedback on that. It's on this channel. Minor Technical Difficulties. Check it out. Peace.